I'm going to do this as a before and after, the LTD and the PRS. I've gone through all the guitars and restrung the lot and have managed to understand that there are two issues specific to these two, and once they're done I should sort of be up to speed. So this one, they sold it for a special, and a special I got. Isn't that cute? Anyway, that's a little bit forward. I'll put another spring in that. But could never manage to get the strings off the fretboard, and as you're playing it, doesn't matter how high you adjusted those, you could actually wind them all the way out and they would still touch. Anyway, turns out they had a bit of fun with a file. So that's called a nut. So I'm going to replace that nut. Isn't that funny? Replacing parts on PRSs. A little bit bizarre, isn't it? So I got this one. Now you see how that's been dug out. They're not meant to be dug out. The one that I've got is a tusk nut for Gibsons. And you got bone, you got plastic, and you got tusk. Not TUSK. We're not trying to put elephant tusks. It's not that. It's you know, a technical word for a particular component for the nuts on guitars. So this one, it is bugger. Do you hear that tink? That tink? You hear that tink? That's the sound we're after. So this should actually upgrade the DNA of the machine itself. This may actually be better than what's there. Now, if we see that there is a bit of height difference. Is there a height difference? Yeah. So I watched some videos, and what you need is a bit of 240 and a bit of 120. And you've just got to take it down to height. And then when you get it to height, they're talking about watered down glue, like 1 or 2 drops, bang, bang, nothing keeps. You want it to hold in, but you want to be able to take it away on another date. I would never want to touch it again, but my goal is they're dug out. You don't want dug out nuts. See how that nut's clean? That's what we're after. Now we're onto the 256. After getting it strung and realising it took me half a day to actually get a sound out of it because it sounded like a piece of shit when I got it. Again, you may as well not have wood and you're playing on frets. And if you can understand that you're fret playing, you won't be bothered trying to push it onto the actual fretboard. So they're a different machine. These, they're played to be able to, put your hand on the wood. These, they're fret machines. And after I restring it, I'll play a little bit of Parkway, and you'll hear through the distortion why bands like Parkway and Killswitch, etc., have the sound they have. It's an ESP sound. An ESP, you can't play them sitting down. When you're standing up, you grab it, you're playing on frets. Now, I couldn't believe the luck. Don't want that to hit the floor. I went looking for another pickup and found an Invader of all the things on the internet. And this will be a literal DNA upgrade, which will change the complete dynamic of the instrument itself. But what I'm after is when I was trying to play distortion, its mids muffle out. From what I read from the Invader, this will give me the exact distortion sound that I'm after. So, I mean, have a look at that. I can't believe I got a black and white pickup to go on a black and white guitar. And an Invader of all things. So, this is a before and after. What will a PRS sound like with a new tusk nut and what will this ESP sound like with an Invader pickup. Not major upgrades, but they're the upgrades that the pair need. Now, I may actually do one more thing with the ESP, and I would hate to sound like it's a contradiction to what's just been spoken. And one more thing. Got this little package. Fret files, not fret files, so string files. These need just a little bit of taking in to try and pull the strings just a little bit closer. So I'm going to file those ever so gradually and put a Invader in, and we will see what the pair sound like afterwards. At the moment, they're a bit ordinary. They look great, but sound ordinary. So this is the before. We'll have a look at the after in a bit.